Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome newcomers. It's March 10, 2026. I'm going to continue reading from the Targeted Individual Handbook by Loki, Hulgaard. Many people will be recruited to participate. The idea is that you get as many people as possible to participate in the torture. The logic is that the more people you can co-opt, the more assistance you'll have for covering it up, and the less likely it will be exposed. Civilian spies are also known as covert human intelligence sources. I don't know where they get that from. There's not a hell of a lot of intelligence going on there. They are recruited from every level and sector of society. Who are they exactly? Why do they participate? The participants are colloquially called Perps, short for perpetrators, as they are complicit in the perpetration of terrorism against others, which they often rationalize as quote-unquote safety and security, upholding what they have been conditioned by the media to view as a quote-unquote noble cause. Their ulterior motive is that they may conceal, even from themselves, is power, material rewards, social prestige, and a feeling of belonging. Monetary stipends, drugs, reduced jail sentences, employment or promotional opportunities in an organization or group such as churches or Antifa. And I'll add, they probably have their property taxes exonerated, since so far through FOIA requests, through Kentucky Open Public Records, I have not been able to locate them. And even ChatGPT cannot find any tax records for any of my neighbors. But I believe the tests that are given to all recruited perps is not to show that they're quote-unquote special in the normal means, but special because they meet specific psychopathological profiles, which makes them excellent candidates to be recruited. And they are distinct pathologies about the recruits that must be present in them. And I've been saying that for a while. And we all know that the intel agencies actually look for pathological traits in the recruits that they hire because they lack empathy, they lack compassion, and they could care less. They're just going to get the job done. They exhibit various traits that are necessary in order to target innocent human beings without question, without reservation, without remorse, and most of all, without regard to the human life or humanity of the targeted victim. Now, who are mostly antisocial personality disorders, sociopaths and psychopaths? Antisocial personality disorder symptoms may include a disregard for right and wrong, persistent lying or deceit, using charm or wit to manipulate others, recurring difficulties with the law, repeatedly violating the rights of others, child abuse or neglect, intimidation of others, aggressive or violent behavior, lack of remorse about harming others, impulsive behavior, agitation, poor or abusive relationships, irresponsible work behavior. But I'm going to add, along with that, is the harming of animals, the disregard for animals, and the torture of animals. Many of them will possess narcissistic personalities. The narcissistic personality disorder is characterized by dramatic emotional behavior, which is in the same category as antisocial and borderline personality disorders. Narcissistic personality disorder symptoms may include believing that you're better than others, fantasizing about power, success, and attractiveness, exaggerating your achievements or talents, expecting constant praise or admiration, believing that you're special and acting accordingly, failing to recognize other people's emotions and feelings, expecting others to go along with your ideas and plans, taking advantage of others, expressing disdain for those you feel are inferior, being jealous of others, believing that others are jealous of you, trouble keeping healthy relationships, setting unrealistic goals, being easily hurt and rejected, having a fragile self-esteem, appearing as tough-minded or unemotional. There is an endless stream of who the perps are, but from my own experience in targeting, it is a combination of several different citizen organizations and groups who are psychologically manipulated into participation, hence community-based bullying. And Zumi just jumped up here and discombobulated something here. There's a mix of people who are obedient to authority, followers, and have their own internal demons to slay. They can easily be manipulated by the leaders within their respective organizations and or belief systems, by the slanderous and libelous propaganda sold to them, in order to manipulate them into becoming vigilante haters who act upon that hate via organized stalking and electronic harassment. The recruits come from all walks and beliefs, to include no beliefs at all. What all recruits share in common, though, is their blind obedience to authority and their willingness to buy into propaganda, smear campaigns, slander, and libel of another human being, but most of all, are easily psychologically manipulated by those who lead them. They will use whatever weapons their organized terrorist leaders hand over to them and fire them whenever they get a chance. These recruits have a warlike mentality and are a pack-oriented. They only seek to destroy human lives. I have found that there are 3 types of perps. One is the hardcore recruit. 2 is the mission offender. And 3 is the thrill seeker. These are taken from the hate group breakdown as to the levels from which these recruits reside. The hardcore recruit is someone who is fully indoctrinated into the group. The mission offender believes in the cause, and as much can be deployed to carry out missions for the group leaders at their request and needs. The thrill seeker is someone not quite recruited, is curious about what is taking place, and as such will join in on occasion to carry out acts of terrorism and hate. Basically, if you are a hardcore recruit for the group cause, you are totally addicted to the sense of power it gives you to terrorize, stalk, mob, intimidate, torture, and harm to the point of destruction the targeted individual. And that defines the Bow Wow family. Yes, the Bow Wow family. You know, the poopynurse.com. The mission offender feels the same sense of addictive power, but they like to partake. They still have a small capacity to walk away and live in the real world. And then, of course, the thrill seeker gets a taste of the power toxin, and depending on how it makes them feel, they will move into the mission offender or a hardcore recruiter sector.